So I think it's safe to say that Twitter is pretty much on fire right now, and there are a lot of different articles swirling around out there. They're kind of confusing. Elon's getting sued because he broke the WARN Act. Oh, JK, no, he's not. So I did the research, and I kind of wanted to catch everyone up on the timeline of Twitter and how it's pretty much just gone down. I guess it just depends on who you ask, but yeah, he's free to do whatever he wants. He owns the company. I'm not saying he shouldn't, but this is just some research to get you up to speed with how everything at Twitter has gone down so far, and it's hilarious. So on October 27th, the deal finally went through. And as soon as Elon bought Twitter, he fired the CEO, the CFO, the general counsel, and the trust and safety person. As soon as he did that, rumors started swirling around about layoffs in the company Slack, on blind.com, but he didn't lay anyone off just yet. He says everyone needs to work 12 hours, 7 days a week to get the new feature out. And by new feature, I'm talking about the $8 a month verification check mark. So after Elon ordered everyone to start working on that blue check mark, we started to see some things about the company morale and how things were working out on the day-to-day there. So here's a picture. This picture was shared by an employee named Evan Jones, who works at the products department of Twitter. The person in the picture is his boss, who is seen sleeping on the office floor. So this is a pretty clever plan. They tell everyone that they have to come in and work all day, every day, and if they don't like it, they can quit. I'm assuming that's what some people did. Then he avoids having to pay those people unemployment. So obviously this indicates a great work-life balance at Twitter, and things are obviously going swell. Employees were actually asked by their managers to work extra hours to meet the deadlines, and they've also been asked to justify their work, their team's work, and the value they add to the company. They've also been asked to justify their code, and Elon even brought Tesla engineers to review Twitter software engineers' code, which is his right. He's the owner. He could be like, what do you do for me? How do you make me money? Which is not the typical way people do things. But now this was before he announced any official layoffs. All this is happening. People are working 12 hours a day without any confirmed layoffs. Has it already started? Happy layoff eve. This was before the official layoff happened the day before, and there was no communication to anyone. People just started getting locked out. Slack was closed. They couldn't access their code anymore. People just started getting locked out. Yet there's still no communication from anyone telling them what's happening. So you can kind of guess what's going to come next. Elon decides to fire roughly 3,700 people all at once on the spot, which violates the WARN Act, which is the Worker Adjustment and Retraining Notification, which basically says if you lay off over a certain amount of employees without any notice, you have to pay them 60 days. So you either have to give them 60 days notice or you have to pay them. And when he fired everyone, there was no communication about severance packages. People were just getting fired left and right. And so that's why you saw articles saying that Twitter's being sued for violating the WARN Act. It's funny because they actually preemptively sued Twitter ahead of time, banking on the fact that he was going to violate the WARN Act and fire everyone. Typically what happens with companies that violate the WARN Act, that don't give any notification, they end up paying the money. However, if you don't go asking for that money, if you don't go looking for that money, companies aren't going to come to you and be like, yeah, we know we fired all of you. Here's your money. Now, we've actually seen this with Better.com. He was going to give everyone 4 weeks of severance after he fired the 900 people, but then after people started looking into lawsuits, they were like, you know what? We're going to give everyone 2 months severance because we're just so generous and we care about our employees, but really they just were giving the legal minimum required to, not get punished. So companies don't really care about this. They're not going to prioritize the WARN Act. They're just going to cut costs wherever they have to and then think about what that cost them later. Once Elon fired all of these people, obviously some people were looking into like, hey, I didn't get a notification. You violated the WARN Act. But then Elon put out a tweet that said, regarding Twitter's reduction in force, unfortunately, there is no choice when the company is losing over $4 million a day. Yeah, I get it. You can do whatever you want. You're losing money. I don't expect you to just lose money and, into the ground. Like, you got to do what you got to do, I guess. He says everyone exited was offered 3 months of severance, which is 50% more than legally required. There were some people out there that were saying, wow, 3 months of not having to work straight into the holiday season sounds nice to me. And I mean, they're Twitter software engineers, Twitter employees. I'm sure it won't be too difficult for them to go someplace else, but it still sucks when people get let go. After he fires the 3,700 people, the next day they realize, wait, we might have needed some of those people. So here's a tweet from Casey Newton. From the Slack at Twitter, it says, sorry to @ everybody on the weekend, but I wanted to pass along that we have the opportunity to ask folks that we fired, I like how they say that we're left off, if they will come back. I need to put together names and rationales by 4 p.m. on Sunday. So people were let go before management even realized that their work and work experience may be necessary to build the new features that Elon Musk is envisioning. Which brings me to one of the comments from the last video from Sir Hamsterlot, where he was talking about how your boss and your company knows your job better than you do. He said, employers know what each individual provides. That's literally their job and what drives their decisions on who to promote and give bonuses to. Well, Sir Hamsterlot, you have been proven a fool. Clearly, this is not the case. How do you fire someone and go, oh wait, we might need them? If I was still employed at Twitter right now, I'd be looking for a new job because Elon's going to do whatever he has to do to make that company profitable and, make it the platform for freedom of speech or something like that. But I'd probably be looking for a new job because the way communication seems to be handled at Twitter does not seem to be in the employee's favor at all. So I'd probably be on the way out. Another fun fact that's been happening recently is Twitter has lost a decent user base. They've lost advertisers since the Elon Musk takeover. And then there was this tweet that went out from Mike Davis that says, you have nearly 114 million followers. Name and shame the advertisers who are succumbing to the advertiser boycott so we can counter boycott them and get your $8 monthly subscription going ASAP so we can start to make up for lost revenue now. And Elon says, thank you. A thermonuclear name and shame is exactly what will happen if this continues. So does that mean he's about to just be like, here's a company that pulled out of Twitter, here's a company that pulled out because of this and this and this, and pretty interesting. I don't know what the legal ramifications are of a obfuscated maybe threat or implication of saying something like this, but that seems pretty big. Now, the Twitter co-founder Jack Dorsey, I guess, was feeling left out of the spotlight, and he said, I realize many are angry with me. I own the responsibility for why everyone is in this situation. I grew the company's size too quickly. How many times have we heard this before? We expanded too fast, and then insert market downturn, insert buyout, acquisition, insert any number of reasons. I expanded too fast and made a mistake. Therefore, everyone that I employ is now having to deal with those consequences. Jack, it's getting old. One other comment here from the last video, because I really want to rub their nose in it, is from Julius Mays, who says, if you work hard, yeah, you get rewarded most of the time. You sound young and inexperienced. Being spoiled and expecting to get everything handed to you is an ignorant way of thinking. Would you like to tell that to the 3,700 people who now have no job and were probably, at least some of them, were hard workers? Here's Joan. She was on the forefront of the machine learning ethics, transparency, and accountability team, and she was making big moves. And, she got fired as well. The entire team actually got canned. So, Julius, you work hard to get rewarded? No. You work hard, you get more work, or you get canned. And then lastly, one comment from Wesley Franken. He said, I'm the only hardware engineer, software engineer, and system engineer. He says, I make a lot of hours because I want to, because my butt's not the only one that's on the line. I think we figured out, because you posted this last Friday. I have a question for you. Do you work at Twitter? Because now everyone's doing like 3 people's jobs. So, Wesley, you work at Twitter, buddy? But anyways, guys, that has been the saga of the Twitter takeover thus far. And I think I would just like to remind everyone to always be looking, always be applying to new jobs. You don't have to respond to any of the replies you get if you're applying to jobs, but you get the email communication that you can simply pick back up and respond to later when you need it. So always put job applications out there. Always be ready to move. Always be upping your skill set. Very cutthroat, very ruthless. There's no emotion involved in this. It's just pure accounting, statistics, and money. They need money. If you enjoyed the video, if you enjoyed the update, click that sub button, click the like button, and let me know what you guys think. If you have anything you want me to take a look at on the channel, you can send me an email, grindreal@gmail.com, Discord, Instagram, however you want to do it. I hope you guys are doing well, and I'll see you in the next one.